Welcome to your next Best Step. I'm Coach Janet J, and I am so glad you're here today. Today's question is one that I think about more often than I would like to admit. Why does closeness with God come so easily in some moments and seem to go missing in others? We've got a little science, a little scripture, and one small move that brings the two closer together. Let's get into it. I felt closer to God at a concert than I have at my own kitchen sink in weeks. And on the drive home, that started to bother me. There is a reason the big room feels easier, and it has nothing to do with God showing up more at a concert than your sink. So here's the setting. I was at Red Rocks for K-Love's concert nights. If you have never been, Red Rocks is an amphitheater carved into the side of a mountain in Colorado, open to the sky. Thousands of people, the sun going down, the evening turning cool. And when the whole place starts singing the same song at the same time, the sound comes up off the rocks and goes straight into my chest. I get goosebumps. I'm actually getting them right now talking about it. And my eyes were doing that thing. I thought, there you are. The next morning, I was standing at my sink. Same God, same me, scrubbing a pan that had soaked overnight and still would not come clean. And I went looking for that same nearness. Nothing. Just the pan and a to-do list, and of course Santino staring at me because his walk is now 4 minutes late. Maybe you know the version of this that isn't a concert. It's a Sunday where the service lands so deep you cannot speak afterward. Then, a few days later, folding the towels, you feel about as spiritual as a parking lot. Or a woman's retreat that cracks your heart open, followed by a week of ordinary that closes it right back up. Whether your big room is a stadium, a sanctuary, or a worship playlist on a hard night, the pattern is the same. The nearness that comes easy in one place and seems to go missing in another. I really wanted to understand it. I was not convinced something was wrong with my faith, and thankfully the question was a lot simpler and more practical than that. How do I bring that closeness home with me? How do I find it at the sink in ordinary hours and not only in a room full of people? Listen to how this psalm puts it. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Psalm 102. Worship the Lord with gladness. Now here is something worth knowing. The Hebrew word behind worship in that line is avad. The New International Version translates it worship. Older translations like the King James and the ESV translate the very same word as serve. Serve the Lord with gladness. Both readings are honest because avad means both at once. It is the word for praise in the temple, and it is the word for tending a garden and doing a day's work and ordinary labor with your hands. Sit with that for a second. The gladness in this verse was never meant to live only in a big room. The same word that covers the song covers the sink. Worship and the daily work of your hands are, in the original language, the same act offered to the same God. There is something else going on, and the science here is reassuring. Researchers at the University of Michigan ran a national poll of adults between 50 and 80. Almost everyone, 98%, said music gives them at least one health benefit. 3/4 said it helps them relax. 65% said it lifts their mood. And more than a third, 36%, said music helps them feel a spiritual or religious connection. These are women and men reporting their own experience, so let's not overclaim it. This is what people say music does for them. And it lines up with something you already know in your body. A song can move you. In that same poll, 61% said music sparks memories or helps them recall moments from their own lives. Now that is worth holding on to. The worship songs from those amazing nights at Red Rocks are tied, for me, to that sense of nearness. I hear one of them and a little of that feeling comes back, which means the song can carry a little of the big room into the small one. Look at what that concert had going for it. A crowd singing with you, lights, a whole evening with nothing else asking for your attention. Your kitchen, on the other hand, has dishes, a phone lighting up, and someone who needs something from you before you are able to finish a thought. The big room held the same God your kitchen does. What it gave you was an open space in your head with less competing for your attention. The nearness you felt was real. It simply had more room to be noticed. This touches all 4 pillars without much effort. Mentally, a familiar song narrows your scattered attention down to one thing. Emotionally, it gives the gladness somewhere to land on an ordinary day. Physically, singing along slows your breathing and settles your body. And spiritually, it trains you to meet God in the place where most of your life actually happens, which is the kitchen far more than the mountaintop. So here is your next best step. A 1-song bridge. Pick one worship song that moved you in a big moment. The retreat, the service, the concert, the drive when you finally cried. Just one. Then pick one ordinary thing you do almost every day. The dishes, the drive to the store, folding laundry, the evening tidy up. Choose that cue now on purpose. Here's the part that makes it work for anyone. You don't need an app, a playlist, or anything to even press play on. The song already lives in you. So when the cue comes, hum it. Sing the chorus under your breath. If you have a way to put it on the radio, your phone, or whatever you already use, wonderful. Do that too. What matters is that the song shows up at the sync in whatever form you have got. The big room feeling gets a path back into your ordinary day, and you are the one who built it. So, to bring it home, that gap between concert worship and kitchen worship comes from the room and from how much was competing for your attention, rather than anything broken in your faith. Psalm 100 uses one word, avad, for both the song and the work of your hands. More than a third of people say music helps them feel a spiritual connection, and the songs tied to your big moments still carry that nearness. A 1-song bridge attaches one of those songs to one ordinary cue, so the gladness has a place to land in the middle of a regular day. On Wednesday, we're talking about money. August has a way of pulling cash out of your wallet whether or not you have kids in school, and it adds up fast. If you have ever reached September wondering where your money went, that one is for you. Follow or subscribe wherever you are listening or watching so you don't miss it. And I will see you Wednesday. Take your next best step.